Today, we are going to comb the deepest depths of conspiracy with the Hidden Hand interview. The Hidden Hand Conspiracy is a series of posts on the forum abovetopsecret.com, in which a supposed ruling bloodline priest answered any questions that anybody had. This mysterious figure claims to be puppeteering world events. Hidden Hand claims that it is the responsibility of every individual within his bloodline to achieve a 95% negative polarity, whether that be through disease, famine, massive tragedies, or disinformation to set people on the wrong track, whatever it takes. He claims it is their responsibility to sow as much negativity in the world as possible to achieve a sort of spiritual evolution by God, or the one that he calls the one infinite creator. Now, all of this is fascinating, and it covers a lot of different topics, and he himself claims that there's about, I think he said, 6 different professions that a member in this bloodline can go into, and his is spirituality. So he talks a lot about metaphysics, reincarnation, what happens after we die, what happens with our memories, how we achieve enlightenment, how we go through what he calls the densities. And these are different realms or dimensions of being. Right now, we are on the 3rd density, and if we reap enough positive karma, for a lack of a better word, we can ascend to a 4th density, which I believe is compassion. So all this is very interesting stuff, but the one thing that really caught my eye when I was reading through this, and remember, this blog post, this forum is from around October 2008. He predicted in this forum that a new currency would be created. He said it would be released around January of 2009. And that's exactly when Bitcoin came out. So is this whole thing a hoax and simply a man LARPing as an elite bloodline member, puppeteering the world from the shadows? Or could this be an actual elite bloodline member sharing with us some of his secrets? Now, it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for one of these people to share some of their secrets with us. There's a term in conspiracy circles called revelation of the method. This is by where some of the elite members of the world feel as if they have to share what they're about to do to us to at least give us a fighting chance. I believe they believe that this is an order from God or the infinite creator, that they have to give us a hint or a head start. And this can also be done through predictive programming, where in television and movies we will often see predictions of the future or things that you should get used to. So that way, once they start rolling out some of their plans on us, we will already be aware and used to them. As a matter of fact, some of us will even be excited for it. Another common conspiracy prediction is that they will want us to be eating bugs instead of meat. So that way, once they actually roll out the bugs, then people will be like, Peter Parker is a bug! He's Spider-Man! I'm gonna be Spider! So that's kind of what predictive programming is, and revelation of the method is just more so they feel as if they have to give us a fighting chance and a head start before they do what they want to us, and they believe that if we are too stupid to see the signs and do anything about it, then we deserve it. So anyway, I'm getting a little bit off track here. This video will be a 16-page summary read-through with commentary. I've already recorded a whole 60-page, the whole version. So I'm not sure which video is going to come out first, but be on the lookout for whichever one comes out first. So this is going to be a good place to start, 16-page interview with the most important points in the whole thing. And then if you want to delve deeper, then you can watch my other, it's probably going to be like 4 hours long, but it's a 60-page read-through of the entire forum. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, this is on wanttoknow.info, and this has just compiled the most important points from the forum from abovetopsecret.com. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hidden Hand, interview with Hidden Hand, alleged ruling bloodline priest. Remember always that this is a very beautiful game that we are playing here and co-creating together with our infinite creator, and that offstage between lives we are the very best of friends. No one really dies and no one really suffers except in the game. The game is not reality. Reality is reality, and you have the power to express your reality within the game once you have learned how to do so. So he's saying that here is not reality, and that on the other side our soul is reality. And this has also been kind of thought through by, I believe, Plato, He said that our soul self is more real than our bodies because our body needs our soul doesn't need our bodies. So therefore, our soul is more real than the existence, the plane that we're on right now. So that's kind of what he's talking about, I guess. Below are key excerpts from a 60-page interview with a self-proclaimed deep insider who goes by Hidden Hand. This took place in October 2008. For the full interview, click here. You can watch my other video like I mentioned before. I'm going to read through the whole thing and provide some commentary. It's pretty boring. I don't recommend you watch it. If you want to read through it yourself, you can, but this is going to be a much better breakthrough than going and watching a 4-hour video of me reading a screen. Questions have been removed in this 16-page summary to focus on the main point of this provocative message. The transcript has also been edited and rearranged for clarity and ease of reading. This essay has most intriguing answers as to why there is so much war and violence on our planet, and why some of our world leaders are so corrupt and cruel. You are encouraged to be skeptical, yet also open to the inspiration and wisdom shared. You are invited to use your discernment and open to higher guidance as you read this. Consider particularly that the harvest mentioned may just be a metaphor for what happens to each individual at death. Note, many are initially turned off by the superior attitude of the author, but don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Consider opening to this unusual, thought-provoking way of viewing life on planet Earth. For a concise 4-page summary of this Hidden Hand interview, click here. There's also a 4-page concise summary, but I wouldn't really recommend that. I would recommend the 16-page summary. This is going to give you everything you need. Window of opportunity, ruling bloodlines in the family. This is Hidden Hand speaking. I am a generational member of a ruling bloodline family. Every so often, as per the directives of the law of our infinite creator, a brief window of opportunity opens whereby a select handful of our family are required to make communication with our subjects. So as I said before, they feel as if they were required by God to answer some of our questions and communicate with us. He goes on to say, our lineage can be traced back beyond antiquity. There are 13 base or core original bloodlines, yet there are many, many other lines that spring from these. From the earliest times of your recorded history and beyond, our family has been directing the play from behind the scenes. We are born to lead. It is part of the design for this current paradigm. So yeah, he's saying that that their rule over the planet has gone back since the beginning of time. This is nothing new. People in this world are seen as collateral, pawns that are maneuvered around the chessboard according to the game plan. But in the family, contrary to popular beliefs, many of us do not mean you any harm directly. There is just the matter of divine destiny to uphold and unfold, and we must play our parts in the game as given to us by the infinite creator. There are 6 disciplines of training within the family. Each member of the family is schooled extensively in all of them from early childhood. The 6 spheres or schools of learning are military, government, spiritual, scholarship, leadership, and sciences. Though we have experience in all spheres, we all have an area of specialty. My area of specialty is in spirituality, so my focus is not so much on geopolitical events. I'm aware of the overall design, though the finer points are often outside my area of expertise. You will never be free for as long as you are incarnating on this planet. The very nature of your being here is indication of that. There is a reason why you are here, and here is very likely not really where you think here is. How do you become free? By working out where you are and coming to an understanding of why you are here. In your hypnotized state, you have a society giving you your free will. In your hypnotized state, you have, as a society, given your free will consent to the state your planet is in today. You saturate your minds with the unhealthy dishes served up for you on your televisions that you are addicted to: violence, pornography, greed, hatred, selfishness, incessant bad news, fear, and terror. When was the last time you stopped to think of something beautiful and pure? The planet is the way it is because of your collective thoughts about it. You are complicit in your inaction every time you look the other way when you see an injustice. Your thought, projected at the subconscious level of creation to the infinite creator, is your allowance of these things to occur. In so doing, you are serving our purpose. It is very important to us that the polarization of this planet is negative at the time of the great harvest. That means service to self-oriented as opposed to positive service to others. We require a negative harvest, and you are doing a fine job of helping us to attain our goal. We are very grateful. We came to power not by chance, but rather, which I know may be hard to swallow, by intelligent design. This path of ours was not chosen by us, but rather it was appointed and accepted. Begin to study outside the box for a true understanding of the creation. So by the harvest, he's saying that after a certain amount of time or a certain amount of lives, if you, depending on where you are in the pole of positive and negative, you will evolve to either a greater level of consciousness, lower level of consciousness, or stay the same. These people, they enjoy inflicting pain on us, but that is through intelligent design by him, so that we may evolve through hardship, I suppose. But these people know that through their disservice to the world, they will, in the next life or in the next few lives, they will be on the opposing side, basically. They will get everything in karma, basically, to them that they gave us. So they're not going to have a very good time after they're done with their supposed job from the infinite creator. But they say that it is their job to supply this negativity to the world, and that these people have to reach a 95% karmic negativity polarity in order to achieve the spiritual evolution that they're seeking. And he also mentions that there's going to be lukewarm people that are just in the middle, and they basically just have to repeat a similar life. And then to those people that are more on the positive pole, then they are able to more quickly ascend to a higher state of consciousness in their next life. Okay, continuing. In the beginning there is the infinite one. This is the source of all that is. Infinite consciousness, intelligent infinity. It is the undifferentiated absolute. Within it is unlimited potential waiting to become. Think of it as the uncarved block of your Taoist traditions. There is unity, intelligent, infinite intelligence, and infinite energy. The two are one. Within them is the potential for all creation. Infinite intelligence does not recognize its potential. It is the undifferentiated absolute. This state of consciousness could be termed as being. Infinite energy, in contrast, recognizes the potential of becoming all things in order to bring any desired experience into being. Infinite intelligence can be likened to the central heartbeat of life, and infinite energy to the spiritual lifeblood which pumps out from the infinite creator to form the creation. Infinite intelligence becomes aware of itself, seeks to experience itself, and thus the one infinite creator is born or manifest. In effect, the creator is a point of focused infinite consciousness expressing infinite intelligent energy. The one infinite creator, also becoming self-aware, seeks to experience itself as creator, and in so doing, begins the next step down in the creational spiral. On focusing its infinite intelligence, the one infinite creator manifests intelligent energy, which you could call the great central sun. It then divides itself into smaller portions of itself that can, in turn, experience themselves as creators or central suns. In other words, each central sun or creator is a step down in conscious awareness or distortion from the original thought of creation. So here it sounds like he's talking about Gnosticism, and in Gnosticism they believe that there is the one infinite creator, and then there's sub-gods and sub-gods and goddesses and all these other things all the way down to us. And they believe that this earth here was created by what they call the demiurge, which is kind of a good and bad guy. He's not a great guy, and that seems to be who they believe to be the biblical God, and he is in fact known as the demiurge. But anyway, that's a little bit off track. He kind of gets into a lot of Gnosticism here. Creation is based upon the three primary distortions of the infinite one: free will, love, light. 1. Free will. In the first law or distortion of creation, the creator receives the free will to know and experience itself as an individuated, though paradoxically unified aspect of the one. 2. Love. In the second law of creation, the initial distortion of free will becomes a focus point of awareness known as logos or love, or the word in biblical terms. Love or logos, using its infinite intelligent energy, then takes on the role of co-creating a vast array of physical manifestations, thought forms, or densities, which some call dimensions or planes of existence, and which, according to its intelligent design, will best offer the range of potential experiences in which it can know itself. In effect, the one infinite creator is dividing itself into logos, could be termed in your third density understanding as a universal creator. In other words, logos creates physical universes in which it and the creator may experience themselves. Let there be light. 3. Light. To manifest this infinite spiritual or life force energy into a physical thought form of densities, logos creates the third distortion of light. The nature of all physical manifest energy is light. Wherever thus exists any form of physical matter, there is light, love, and divine intelligent energy at its core. From the three original primary distortions of the one, which make the creation arise a myriad hierarchies of other sub-distortions, each containing their own specific paradoxes. The goal of the game is to enter into these further divisions of creation and then seek to harmonize the polarities in order to once again know oneself as the creator of them. Drawing upon its infinite intelligence, the infinite creator designed a blueprint based on the finite principles of free will, of awareness, and sub-level creations, which each in their turn could become aware of themselves and seek to experience themselves as creators. The one infinite creator, or great central sun, steps down its infinite energy to become Logos. Logos in turn designs vast universes of space as yet unmaterialized, stepping down and splitting itself again into Logoi, plural. In other words, into an array of central suns, which will each become a logos, or co-creator of its own universe. Yet each unique individualized portion created by the one infinite creator contains within it, as its very essence, intelligent infinity. Using the law of free will, each universal logos, central sun, designs and creates its own version or perspective of physical reality in which to experience itself as creator, by focusing its intelligent energy to create, for instance, the form of galaxies within itself. Stepping down again, each galactic logos, sub-logos, can split itself into yet further co-creator portions, sub-sub-logos, which can then design and manifest their own ideas of physical reality, as in the form of points of conscious awareness that we call stars and planets. We are not directly created by the one infinite creator, but rather by our own logos, sub-logos, sub-sub-logos, and so on. So from the perspective, whilst we are all essentially made up of the same stuff of creation, initiated by the one infinite creator, our direct personal creators are different portions or sub-logos of the one. So yeah, like Gnosticism, I explained, the one original infinite creator creates sub-gods, sub-gods, who in turn create us, and there's kind of a hierarchy of divinity, I suppose. All right, Yahweh and Lucifer. So your creator, the one who has been called Yahweh, is not God, inasmuch as your Bible refers to him as being the one true God. He is a creator, the sub-logos, rather than the one infinite creator. He is not even a galactic level logos, but rather is the planetary logos for this one planet. There are other and higher gods than him, yet ultimately all are a part of the one, and either consciously or unconsciously, all are exercising their free will to create. Okay, so we know who these people are. Our creator is the one you referred to as Lucifer, the light bearer and morning star. Our creator is not the devil, as he has been portrayed in some religious text. Lucifer is what you would call a group soul or social memory complex, which is evolved in the level of the sixth density. We, our bloodline families, as a group soul or social memory complex, Lucifer, we're on the verge of seventh day density ascension. At this level, before harvest comes, we have the choice to progress higher or to return to help others of lower densities with their evolution by passing down our knowledge and wisdom to those that call upon us for assistance with their own free will. Now, at this time, having made our decision to stay and help our galactic brothers and sisters in the one, we were assigned a challenging task by the Council of Elders, who act as the guardians of this galaxy. Yahweh had not handed down his own free will to know thyself to those incarnating upon his planet, as was his right as planetary logos. As a result, he was having very little evolutionary progress therein. In the absence of free will, there can be no polarity, and therefore nothing to choose between, as is portrayed in the book of Genesis. The planet was very Edenic, in nature. Sure, it was a lovely paradise, yet the beings incarnating there had no agitator toward evolving beyond the third density, and therefore little hope of ever making the journey home to the One. So we, Lucifer, were sent to help. Once the order was given from the Council of Elders, we fell or descended back to a place where we could, with hard work and focus, once again materialized a third density manifestation of ourself. Yahweh had agreed to our coming. In fact, it was He who had initially asked the Council for a catalyst of change to enter into His creation. Without polarity, derived from free will, there is only the unity of love and light, and no choice to experience other than that. So we were to be the catalyst for change in order to provide that choice, thus bringing polarity. Yahweh agreed that we would introduce the concept of free will to Earth's inhabitants by offering them an initial choice as to whether they wanted it or not, hence the tree of knowledge of good and evil, or more accurately, the knowledge of polarity, of positive and negative. Yahweh then takes His inhabitants to a new garden. He tells them that they can do anything they like except eating from the tree of knowledge, thus creating in them the desire to do the one thing they are told they cannot, hence a choice. We provide the catalyst by telling them the benefits of attaining knowledge. They then choose to eat from the tree, and the rest is history. Yahweh thought that His children would still choose to obey Him. When He discovered they did not, He became angry. He is described in His scriptures. As is described in His scriptures, He is a jealous God. He did not like that His children had chosen to disobey Him and follow our advice. Yet our group soul was already committed to being here for a predefined set of rules to help provide a catalyst for human evolution, namely by offering you the negative option, or that which you choose to call evil. The game of life. Let's be clear about one thing, though. All of this physical life incarnation is a very intricate and skillfully designed game, whereby the one infinite creator plays the game of forgetting who it is so that it can learn to remember, and in doing so, experience and know itself as creator, all the way down to us tiny, individuated sparks of the all that is. Offstage and between lives as incarnated human beings, 0-point time, antimatter universe, we, all of us, and all of you as souls are great friends, brothers and sisters in the one. Between lives, we all have a good laugh about the parts we have performed in the play, and look forward to and have great fun preparing the next chapters to act out. You are divine souls. You are sparks or seeds of the one infinite creator. You are life itself, remembering and learning who you really are. We came here to help you do this. The planet will complete its ascension to the fourth density, the vibrational density of love. During this ascension, there will be a three-way split for those souls inhabiting Earth. Those of the predominantly negative polarity will accompany us as we graduate through the negative, or service to self, harvest. We, Lucifer, will create a new fourth density Earth based on the negative service to self polarity, where we must work off our own part of the negative karmic effect incurred from all the negativity created on this planet. Once we have done so, we will be released to once again assume our place as sixth density guardians and teachers of wisdom throughout the galaxy. Those of the predominantly positive polarity, love and light, will ascend to a beautiful new fourth density Earth. There, they will begin to work upon their learning and demonstrating of love and compassion. It will be a very beautiful and golden age. The fourth density begins to open souls up to their true powers as individualized aspects of the one infinite creator. These individuals perform works and wonders of the like that the one you call Jesus promised they would do, and even greater things than these. It will be a very magical time for those who ascend. In contrast, the majority of humans on the earth who could be considered, shall we say, lukewarm, will experience a period of what will feel like static, 0-point time. These people will, for a period, feel totally at one with the Creator, giving them an encouraging reminder and glimpse of who they really are, before the veil of forgetfulness once again descends. Then they will be transported to another third density planet, a kind of Earth replica, to continue working upon themselves and learning that life here is all about making choices. These souls will remain quarantined, incarnating in third density matter until the time of the next harvest, in which time they will need to have proved that they have learned how to be more positive beings, focused more upon being of service to others, rather than seeking only to serve themselves. We, Lucifer, have to be self-service centered to an extreme degree in order to fulfill our mission and become negatively harvested. This is why we work so hard to be as negatively polarized as we possibly can. If we do not make a high enough percentage, we will miss out and will end up with the majority lukewarm percentage that have to go through another cycle in third density. By attaining a negative harvest, we will still graduate to fourth density, only it will be a negative polarity planet. Not a great place to be, but as I've stated previously, we, as a group soul, have incurred the natural karmic restitution process that we must work off for all the negativity we have caused upon this planet. We will do this for a cycle in our new fourth density world, and then we will be free to once again be the glorious being of light that we truly are. We need a negative harvest so that we can create a fourth density Earth and clear our karmic record. Understand that we have to be negative. That's what we were sent here to be. It is our contract, which has always been to help you by providing a catalyst of free will and choice. Being negative is very hard for us, not on a physical level. The characters we play enjoy our roles, as we programmed, by the way, but on a spiritual level. We surpassed the lowly negative vibrations eons ago. We are light and we are love. It is a very hard thing for us to do spiritually, to create all this negativity, but we do it because we love you, and ultimately, it is also for your highest good. Remember, we are all just acting out a grand old game here, where we agree to forget who we really are, and in the remembering we may find each other again, and know that we are one, and that all of life is one. When you remember who you are, and you know it deep within the core of your being, you will know and recognize your invisible connection to all that is, and in so doing, joy, thanksgiving, and service will be the natural outpouring result from your grateful heart. When you work upon yourself and learn to know the Creator within you, being of service to others will be natural for you. Editorial note. Consider the possibility that the parallel planet scenario presented here may be more metaphor than reality. There are many living on Earth right now who experience their lives as a living hell. Yet there are also those living in the same physical reality of this planet whose lives are close to heaven on Earth. As Hidden Hand points out, our deeply held thoughts and beliefs create our experience of life. Focusing on an impending harvest or day of judgment keeps us from opening ever more fully to all that is available to us here and now in this ever-unfolding sacred moment. Moving on to a new section, the Galactic Council of Elders. The Council of Elders are the wise and loving guardians of our galaxy. The Council gave us a set of choices. We chose to stay here to help you, despite the cost to ourselves. That is the nature of loving service to others. The ultimate paradox in this storyline we are all co-creating together is that in order for us to be of the most service to you, we must be utterly self-serving. I do so love our Creator's sense of irony. Our initial contract was to introduce the catalyst for free will on this planet. When Yahweh began discourse with the Council of Elders, he was not initially looking for help with introducing free will, but rather for guidance on how he could best speed up his and his inhabitants' evolutionary process. He was basically running a benign dictatorship. We had at the time just completed an assignment in Tau Ceti and had reported for our next duties. We, as Group Soul Lucifer, were sent on a fact-finding expedition to visit Earth and meet with Yahweh to evaluate his planetary creation laws and make suggestions on how best he could help his offspring. This is the term I shall use to describe the individuals who comprise the Group Soul and thusly Yahweh to progress. We explored many options and reported our findings to the Council and to Yahweh. It was our best evaluation that the only real and fast-track way to increase his evolvement meaningfully was the introduction of free will. It was not specifically free will that Yahweh wanted to help with. He simply asked for the introduction of a catalyst. He was not at all pleased with our report that he needed to implement free will. He was happy with his little pet paradise, and he didn't want to lose control of it. In the end, the council persuaded him that it was the best way, and he reluctantly agreed. We returned to Earth and had a cordial meeting with Yahweh, discussing how we could best implement the free will option. Yahweh was adamant that his offspring would choose to be loyal to him anyway, and that they were so content with their way of life that they would always trust him and do as he said. That, as he said, was his main reason that free will would not work well as the catalyst. That's why he agreed to the experiment of the Tree of Knowledge. He believed it would prove him right. When it did not, he became angry and threw his offspring out of the garden. He laid a big guilt trip on them about how they had broken his trust and disobeyed him. That's not really an honorable way for Logos to behave, but hey, that's the beauty of free will, I guess. Next problem to occur was that his offspring were so grateful to us for our help that Yahweh became, in his own admission, a jealous God. Then we had the whole "you shall have no other gods before me" thing. We were not pleased with the situation at all, as a Logos should not be behaving like this with his offspring. When we attempted to leave the planet to return to the council, Yahweh prevented our departure. We tried to leave again, but were then thrown down into the astral planes and confined therein. The council ordered us to be released, but said we would have to cancel our contract to help the souls on Earth to evolve. We didn't want to leave. We found humans very, very likable beings, really positively polarized, and we wanted to stay and help. We just wanted also to be free to come and go as we pleased. The only way we could stay was to remain confined as a group soul, which meant cycles of incarnation for us as individuated souls, which we had not done for a long time. There is no wrong or right seen from a higher density, but there are still consequences for every action, such as the law of karmic effect. The contract had already been made between Yahweh, us, and the council for us to provide the catalyst, so we had a right to be there. We stayed, but as a karmic result of our group souls' confinement by Yahweh, our own individuated souls were given the mandate by the council to rule over Yahweh's people during our physical incarnations here on your planet. The karmic effect of Yahweh imprisoning us on the macrocosmic level was that his individuated souls, humans, would be imprisoned on the microscopic level. The infinite creator gave Yahweh and all the gift of free will to create as we choose, but the karmic effect of his choice was the council quarantining the planet. A certain evolutionary level is required to be a functioning part of a positive unified galactic society. New section. The veil is drawn. Remember that ultimately this is a game that we are all playing here. We are actors playing on the stage of life. This world is all illusion or thought form. No one really dies, and no one is really hurt. In between incarnations, you know this very well. But the rules of the game ensure that when you incarnate, you must forget who you really are, so that you believe it is all real. Whilst you are playing the game of life, forgetting is an essential prerequisite for you to make choices that help you grow. Otherwise, the game would be too easy. We are not born with the same veil of forgetfulness as you are. The veil is still in place, but would most accurately be described as being somewhat thinner. We see the invisible connections of life which are hidden from you, because we retain access to more than just the third density perspective, not dissimilar to the manner in which some people can see what you call auras. This is because you are working your way up, whereas we have chosen to step down in order to help you. We could not do this as successfully if we had to forget all that we have learned. In other words, to you, everything appears as being separate. We see that this is not the case. We do not have direct soul memory, as in the manner that you remember what you did yesterday. But we may access any portion of our soul memory we so choose when we focus upon it, often in a meditative state. In order to win, or more accurately, to be successful in the game, we must be as negatively polarized as possible. Service to self in the extreme. Violence, war, hatred, greed, enslavement, genocide, torture, moral degradation, prostitution, drugs, all these things and more serve our purpose in the game. And all these negative things, we are providing you with tools, but you do not see it. It is not what we do, but how you react to it that is important. We give you the tools. You have the free will choice how you will use them. You have to learn to take responsibility. There is only one of us here. Understand that, and you will understand the game. As you do unto others, you do to yourself. The difference between us and you in the game is that we know that we are playing. The less you know about the game and the less you remember that you're a player, the more senseless living becomes. New section. Suggestions for playing the game. Be good to yourself. Cultivate a genuine love for life and for being. Be genuinely thankful to the one infinite creator every day for bringing you into being and for his bountiful provision. You have survived this far, have you not? You may not have everything you want, but you have everything you need in order to complete that which you incarnated here to do. Give thanks for that. Desire to serve flows naturally from a grateful heart. Show acknowledgement and gratitude to the infinite creator for all that it has done and is doing for you. It has given you the gift of life experience and offered you the free will to decide what you will create with it. Guard your thoughts carefully, as they are more powerful than you may imagine. If you see doom and gloom, then that is what you are projecting. The world is your mirror. It reflects back to you what you are putting out. If you do not like the reflection life is showing you, then change that which is causing it. When you are coming from a piece of love for and service to your Creator, a life of service to others will become a natural outflowing from that. Always look for ways that you can be of assistance to your fellow beings. Be of encouragement to others. Build people up and do not put people down. Be a beacon of light in a dark world. Does that old lady need a hand with her shopping bags? How do you treat the homeless man who asked you for the same spare change for the shelter? Ever heard about angels in disguise? Look and see the divine spark in the heart of all beings. Treat them as you would like to be treated yourself, and as you would your Creator, if He was speaking directly with you. For even as you do it to the least of these, you do it unto me. It is up to you how you use the tools we have given you. Whilst incarnating in the third density, negativity is still an important tool in your learning process. It teaches you other than. Do you respond to negativity with more negativity? Or do you choose to see the negativity as the tool that it is and recognize that it is offering you an opportunity? All souls eventually learn that positive is the pathway which leads home. There's a big difference between loving yourself and being selfish. When you truly understand what it is to know and love yourself, you cannot help but to love and serve others. When you understand this at the core level of your being, you will be on your path home. New section. More on our family. Those who are bloodline family are born into it and are raised this way from birth. There is no other way. The bloodline members you readers know are of earthly lineage. Yes, they have their place in the family, but the real power lines do not originate from this planet. The top of the pyramid is not the top of the pyramid. Above the highest earth line, auspices of the Supreme World Council, and another higher aspect that cannot be named, are the hidden hands, not the real name, of course. The world of my own family is very different from that of the lower, earth-based bloodlines. Whilst our training growing up was very strict and disciplined, we were never abused in any way. We grew up with the bigger picture and didn't need any other motivation. All of the power lines, off-world bloodlines that comprise the inner sanctum or hidden hands of the family have certain abilities that third density incarnates do not possess. One of these being the ability to know the entire incarnational past with focused concentration. The earth lines are not aware of the bigger picture. They themselves are not of our Lucifer group soul. As far as they are aware, they are out to rule the world, to control and enslave, and to create as much suffering and negativity as is humanly possible. That's what they get out of the deal, world domination. You'd have to say that with this in mind, they're doing a great job. They are aware that democracy is an illusion, which is created to uphold your slavery. Behind the scenes, there is only one party, our party. Whichever side wins, the family wins. There are many possibilities and alternative scripts. The Rothschild lineage, not its original name, or the preeminent line closing the net of control over humanity. But even they are a lesser line within the family. The names you know do not have the names you know do not have the real power. One of the things the earth lines don't know or understand is that our agenda is ultimately for the highest good of all concerned and providing you with the catalyst. If they were aware of this truth, there is a slight risk that they would not have done their jobs properly, and they would miss out on joining us in our 95% negative harvest. They are aware of the harvest and the need for them to attain 95% negativity to get out of the third density, and that is all the motivation they need to help us achieve our ultimate aims. How they go about it is not really of too great concern to us, as long as they are getting the job done. Sometimes we have to step in where something they may do or plan goes against our desires, but such instances are few and far between. We already know that which awaits us in our coming fourth density negative polarity world. We shall have to experience the negativity of our own creation and know what it feels like. We shall have to work off the karmic effect of our actions. But at the same time, knowing that this is a beautiful and intricate game that we are all co-creating here together, we also know that we shall be rewarded with a hearty thank you and a job well done for the sacrifice we have made in bringing this negative polarity into your game for you, that you may use it wisely to see that which you are not. Remember always that this is a beautiful game that we are playing here and co-creating together with our infinite creator. And that offstage between lives we are the very best of friends. No one really dies and no one really suffers except in the game. The game is not reality. Reality is reality, and you have the power to express your reality within the game once you have learned how to do so. Can you look beyond what your eyes are showing you to find and express love and happiness in a world of fear and distress? If you can, you will be as a beacon of light into the darkness. Will you succumb to the darkness, or will you stand and shine your divine inner light? Only you can make that decision for yourself. If the one infinite creator is infinite and has created everything that is, then does the infinite creator not reside within you and within all things? When you can see the divine spark of the infinite creator within yourself and within each and within even those who would mean you harm, the strong grip of the illusion will begin to lose its power over you. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. A new section, the harvest. Our goal is a negative harvest for ourselves, not for you personally. We provide the catalyst of negativity for you. It is up to you what you do with it. The drastic extent of the negativity we create has more to do with us than it does with you. The harvest is mixed. Those who are at 51% or over on the positive path will graduate to fourth density positive. There you will work upon love and compassion, and it will be a very beautiful world to reside within for you. There will be very little negativity, just a small enough amount that you can still use it to exercise your free will in choosing who you are not. But it will be so much more obvious than it is here that negativity is a tool to be used. You will see the interconnectedness of all things. Then you will know that you are not separate from one another or from life itself. You will not use words much unless you choose to. Telepathy becomes the normal method of communication. Everything is open, and you cannot hide your thoughts from others. From that incarnation onwards, you will not have to experience third density incarnation again, unless you later choose to do so from higher densities, as we have done in order to perfect the art of service. Regarding this current great harvest, what we require is for us to personally attain a 95% negative polarity for ourselves, not for you, who must be 95% negative at least, in order to graduate to fourth density negative and clear our karmic record of all the negativity we have created on this planet, before returning to our rightful place as sixth density guardians of our galaxy and teachers of wisdom to those in lower densities that ask for our assistance. If we do not make it, we will remain trapped in the third density cycle, with all those between 50% and 94% negative, what I term the lukewarm, and have to continue to provide negative polarity there. Harsh as it is, our only way out is to be as negative as possible to graduate. We cannot choose to be positive, because that is not what we came here to do for you. That's why I often have returned to all the horrible things we've done here as our sacrifice. The noonday winter solstice sun of December 21st, 2012, is the time when the Lord of the Harvest shall return. So it seems like he's predicting the whole 2012 end of the world thing. I don't think that he's actually saying that the world was going to end then. Maybe he was. Maybe it's all a hoax. But I think that's just when one of the various harvests was going to take place. So it may not have been that, everyone died and, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but it may just have been the deadline for the harvest. I don't know, but moving on. Finding your truth. This is a new section. Never take what another says to you as truth. Your purpose here is to find your own truth. Sometimes others can help you to do so by offering guidance, but for their truth to become your truth, it must pass through the test of your discernment. Sit quietly in meditation and ask the infinite creator to guide your path. Meditate upon which I have shared and listen to your inner feelings. Feelings are the language of the soul. Your essence can never be destroyed. You are a unique part of the infinite creator. You are an eternal soul currently residing in a physical shell that you should call an earth suit. Your earth suit will perish, but you cannot die. Nothing can destroy the infinite creator, and you and the infinite creator are one. Our infinite creator longs to be close to us. In truth, he is closer than most would believe. They just don't notice him, as they pass him by in the street every day, when he gives them their change at the shop, when you tuck her into bed and give her a kiss goodnight, when you squash him as he's running up your bathroom wall toward his web, and when there's no one else in the room but you. The more we trust in our creator, the more results we get. Life gives us what we expect we'll receive, because all thought is creative. If we get up and expect to have a bad day, more often than not, it's exactly what we'll get. But remember that it works both ways. The main reason people don't have their prayers answered is because they do not really believe that they will. They don't have faith in our infinite creator, or have trust in him. The most powerful form of prayer is thanksgiving. For even before you ask, I have already given it unto you. Thanksgiving is knowing that our infinite creator has provided for you as he promised, and being thankful for that even before you see the results. There is no such thing as coincidence. Nothing happens by chance. Life is in a constant process of communication with us. Only mostly people are too busy to notice. Be the strong and courageous soul that deep down you know yourself to be. Do not hide your inner light. Trust yourself and shine your light into the darkness. Your soul remembers everything you've ever experienced. The only reason you don't remember it all now is due to what we term the veil of forgetfulness. If you came into each new incarnation with access to your soul memory, there's no point in your coming into space-time. It would be like playing a computer game with all the cheats. You wouldn't learn anything, and it takes the fun out of playing the game. Remember that this current physical body you carry around with you is not who you are. It's just a vessel for your essence. Who you are is real and cannot be destroyed. You will retain all your memories of this life experience once you pass beyond the realm of time-space, or that which some call heaven. The infinite being living within and around your body, namely your soul, is who you really are. The part of you that thinks and feels and loves, it will always be a part of you. Pain and suffering are just aspects of the game. They feel extremely real whilst we are playing the game, and indeed they have to, in order to make you believe that the game is real. No one really dies, but rather the matter of human form is shed, much like the chrysalis of a caterpillar when the butterfly emerges. Look upon physical incarnation as the chrysalis in which you may transform. Linear time is more accurately described as an intentional fabrication. The true nature of time is cyclical, though remember also that even cyclical time is part of creation. And creation, beautiful as it may be, is also an illusion, or more accurately, a thought form of our infinite creator. Creation is not real, but the creator and co-creator of it are. Evil is not who you are. It is part of the complex series of illusions that you use in third density to show you who you are not. The further up through densities you work, the less polarity plays an important part in the game. The sixth density, the density of unity, is the last level of polarity, that polarity is a factor. But even then, it factors in a very different way. Instead of balancing positive and negative, you will be balancing love and light, compassion, wisdom. Next section, the external reflects the internal. There is a simple method to check upon your progress. Despite what appears to be going on in the world around you, how loving and harmonious are your personal relationships? Remember that the world is your mirror. It casts back at you the reflection of that which you have projected into it. How many arguments do you find yourself engaging in? Is there bitterness and acrimony within the ranks? Do you look at others and think about how you would like to change them? Or do you love them and accept them as they are? Loving and accepting someone for who they are is known as unconditional love. That is something you will spend much time working upon when graduating into fourth density, positive. It's a good idea to get a head start now. Loving and accepting someone as they are does not mean accepting abusive behavior, but it does mean loving and accepting the person's soul, not the soul's behavior. The behavior is not who they really are. The soul within it is who they are. The quality of your relationships is an excellent mirror from which to gauge the quality of your output, or in other words, that which you are creating. Do you look at a person and concentrate to a greater or lesser extent upon the things that you dislike about them and wish would change, or the qualities that you like and admire in them? Remember that we have said that all thought, word, and deed is creative. You get back what you send out. So when you send out the thought, why is she so hard to live with, or why is he always behaving like this? Ask yourself, what exactly are you doing? Now focus here, as this is so obvious you could miss it, and in fact most do. Take away the question from your sentence, and essentially you are saying, she is so hard to live with, and he is always behaving like this. Do you see what you are doing? You have just created the very behavior in that person that you wish to change simply because you do not understand their law of radiation and attraction. Remember, all thought is creative. Now try an experiment. Take someone in your life that you love, but sometimes have trouble getting along with. Think about the thoughts you have projected about that person, the negative thoughts. Ask yourself, does the behavior that you do not like in that person in any way correspond to the thoughts you've been having about them? If you're honest with yourself, it's a strong bet that it does. Sure, they must have behaved that way in the first place to make you notice that you didn't like it, but we all have off days sometimes. The more you focus on that behavior, the more you are going to see of it. It's just life doing what it does and conforming to your expectations about the way it will be for you. Now, having recognized this, what will you do about it? Simply notice your negative thoughts as they arise. Literally catch yourself as you are having them, and then change your perspective. Focus instead on the things you like about this person, how you love their smile, the sound of their happy laughter, the way they do such and such nice thing, how helpful and loving they can be. Keep putting those positive thoughts out. Persevere, as you may have a bit of negative work to undo first. But just keep catching yourself and focusing on the positive, then prepare yourself for an almost magical transformation of your circumstances. Always monitor your thoughts and pay attention to their quality, because what you think about is directly related to what you will see around you and what life will show you. That is the difference between conscious and subconscious creation. Alright, new section. Archetypes, dreams, and religion. The universal mind speaks in archetypal imagery. In a similar way that the writing in some of our Oriental languages uses a system whereby a collection of words or meanings are contained within what is essentially a symbol. So the universal mind uses archetypes to communicate in dream time, just like understanding any new dialect. You just need to learn the language. Dreams are a key method our souls use to speak with us. The conscious mind is too busy and distracted most of the time to hear what spirit has to say, so it tends to use the subconscious instead. You only forget what you are doing. You only forget who you are during incarnation. The object of the game is to wake up within the dream and in effect become a lucid gamer, to remember who you really are during the game, and to then begin working upon the things you came here for. Religion is either actually created or at very least heavily influenced by us. God is a human concept, which is a misunderstanding of the original concept of creator. This is further confused as there are many macrocosmic level creators or logos. As has been explained previously, God implies some separate entity which is outside of you, which you must supplicate to and worship. Our one infinite creator and almost all of your logos and sub-logos do not want your worship. They want you to understand creation and your place within it as co-creator. Ultimately, there is a supreme being in the form of the one infinite creator, but we are all part of it rather than its subjects. None of the names given for the supreme being by your religions are the true name, but they are indeed correct in that there is one supreme being, namely the infinite creator. They just have different concepts about it, which springs from the text their religion is based upon. Do not worship your infinite creator, but rather live in a state of thanksgiving and service to it for bringing you into being for this amazing game it has created, in which we may forget who we really are in order to remember and know ourselves again as the creator. Satan is a human invention. It is the personification you have given to all the negativity that has existed on this beautiful planet. You didn't know who to blame, and as you could not find it within yourself to take personal responsibility, Satan was created to absolve yourselves. You are not doomed, and your soul does not require salvation. No one's soul does. There is nothing to save it from. At the very worst, you will have to repeat as many third density cycles as is necessary in order for you to learn the things you need to learn. in order to progress and graduate to fourth density positive, but one thing is for sure, you will get there in the end. All will find their way home to our infinite creator. Next section. Your purpose in the game. Your main purpose in the game is to work upon yourself. It is to grow, develop, and transform yourself into a more positive and loving being. You had certain goals that you plan to achieve before incarnating here, which is a main reason for the veil of forgetfulness being in place. If you already knew what your goals were, the game would be too easy. Look at the things in your life that you most love to do. Ask yourself what makes you most happy. Experience these things as often as possible, as they will be related to some of the things you chose to put into your soul contract to do here. Also look at the negative things that often seem to recur during your lifetime. It will be highly likely that these are also things that you chose to come here to work upon. Let us say, for example, that you chose to come here to work upon patience during this incarnation. You will likely find that you have a tendency towards impatience, and that life will often bring many experiences to you in order to test your patience. The idea being that rather than losing your temper, you work upon your impatience and resolve to become a more temperate and patient soul. The same analogy may be applied to all manner of circumstances in which life will test you. Look for and begin to identify any recurring issues that you perhaps struggle to deal with. Identify issues which seem to present themselves to you time and time again. Perhaps anger, being abusive, selfishness, hatred, cynicism, and the list goes on. Whenever you find recurring circumstances, it is because you are being presented with opportunity after opportunity to work upon these issues until you get it right. Eventually, you will choose a way of behavior that is more positive. Once you've successfully identified these issues within your life, worked upon them, and used them as the tools of transformation that they are to improve the quality of your character, you will notice that these things seem to almost cease to appear in your life. You will still be presented with them at varying intervals to check that you have not forgotten that which you have learned, but they will be fewer and far between. Next section, we're getting to the end here. Working on yourself, work upon yourself. Go inside in a state of meditative contemplation. Still your mind that your soul may have room in which to make its still small voice heard. Ask your infinite creator to help you and listen to your inner voice. Be patient. It takes time to develop your inner communication after a lifetime of neglect. Use your negative emotions when they arise as tools that they truly are. Train yourself to notice when negativity arises in you. When you catch yourself projecting a negative thought, remember that all thought is creative and ask yourself if that is really what you want to create. It takes a while to become proficient, but do not give up. Just keep noticing your negative thought patterns as they arise, and in so doing, simply choose again and select a response that is more positive. It is called working on yourself and is the main reason you have chosen to be here right now, to work upon yourself. When you persevere and keep working on yourself gradually, it will come to you. And when it does, you must learn to trust in your inner guidance, no matter what others may say. That is the ultimate test. To trust what you know deep inside is your truth. Even when the whole world tells you that you are wrong, it is hard work to trust yourself when all those around you doubt you and call you crazy. But it is the job you came here to do. The only real and lasting truth is a self-realized one. Messengers can come and go and show you truth until they're blue in the face. But it will not be your truth until you have realized for yourself, deep within the core of your being, that it feels true for you. Never accept something as true just because someone tells you it is so. But when your inner voice guides you that a truth is true, you feel that old warm feeling of excitement welling up from somewhere deep within that says, yes, I knew it. Hold on to that feeling. Feelings are the language of your soul. Guard it carefully, as you can be sure that your newfound beliefs will be challenged in many ways. It is designed this way to test you. Your inner truth must be able to withstand the test of time. It will be given a thorough examination. Hold fast to it, so long as it is what you know to be true deep within. Allow nothing or no one outside of you to pull you from your path. No matter how fiercely they contend with you, they are just doing their job. Even if they may not even be aware that this is what they are in fact doing, They are performing an important service to you, and you should be grateful to them for that. Follow your heart, listen to, and trust your inner voice. Next section, working with others. And getting your message out there whilst being informative. Always do your best not to feed the fear and paranoia, as this will act contrary to your intentions of raising the vibration to positive. Deliver your message in a way that emphasizes the hope and the true beauty and reality of our inherent oneness with our infinite Creator. The most important thing is not to force things and not to be so impassioned in the delivery of your message that you put people off the content of the message itself. There's a balance that needs to be found between urgency to awaken others and your compassion for the lack of understanding in their condition. Always adhere to the law of free will and never force your message. Be as a light shining in the darkness. Do not burn others with your light, but rather allow them to be drawn to your light. And be of service to those who come to you willingly. In other words, do not become evangelical with your message, but rather be the enigmatic and loving wise old sage, to whom others are drawn to because of the quality of vibration, rather than the volume of rhetoric. Most importantly, practice that which you preach. Others must be able to see the effect of our infinite Creator conducting His wonderful work through you. But above all things, keep working upon yourself and keep choosing the positive. Being of service to others. Do it not because you feel that you must, but because you desire to. Other catalyst and the message. There is another family or group more accurately asserting a positive influence on humanity, but you cannot see them, and neither are you aware of their existence. They help the planet by a secret inner location by the quality of the energy work they engage in and project outward to you from the source. There are also here wanderers or travelers from higher densities who have chosen to incarnate on earth at this time in order to perfect service to others. They still have to remember who they are, and part of the concern is that sometimes even they do not manage to awaken in the game. Such is the power of the illusion. They are here to awaken themselves, and then to help awaken others to prepare for the coming great harvest. Yet, even if they fail to awaken, these souls are not bound by the third density cycle, as they've already mastered it. Once their incarnation is over, they are again free to return to their appropriate levels. Many who do not believe now will begin to open their minds as the earth changes that are coming begin to take effect. People will be terrified and have no idea what is going on because the governments have concealed this information from you. These travelers of what some have termed star seeds are incarnated here to help on the ground level. And when this all begins to play out over the next few years, when the time is right, they will come forward. Most people are not ready to hear this information yet, but not so far off they will be. Many of these starseeds have not awakened yet themselves. The Confederation stands by ready to help them do so. If it is necessary for ones such as these who have yet to awaken, they will have felt all their lives that they are somehow different. They have a deep sense that somehow they do not belong here. Many of them will also have many dreams and even visions of their lives on their home planets. You will only receive communication from higher entities if that is something you have already agreed together in your soul contract before coming here. Many here at this time, millions, have a part to play in the Great Awakening and in making preparations for the Great Harvest. The message will reach all those it is meant to reach, and that is exactly the way it should be. It is what the Creator wants. Those with ears to hear, eyes to see, and a heart to understand will hear the message, and the seeds planted will grow strong in such fertile soil as these. This message is yet another in a long line of catalysts that your infinite Creator has provided you with down the course of history. A catalyst is not meant to be believed. It is meant to present you with a challenge to that which you think you know about reality. And that is all it is meant to do. As always, how you respond to the catalyst is entirely up to you. Take the guidance in this message into your meditations and also seek information from your dream time. Test these words deeply. Take them into your heart only if they feel right and truthful to you. If they do, Then act upon them and allow nothing and no one to deter you. Arise and play the part for which you volunteered to be here right now. It is almost time. Prepare yourself and be sure that you are ready. And remember, no matter what ideologies may separate us in this game, the message is all that matters, and the message is that in the love and light of our infinite Creator, we are all intimately And the message is that in the love and the light of our infinite Creator, we are all intimately interconnected in the One. We are brothers and sisters of the light. We wish you all the very best in what remains of your journey here and sincerely hope that you will use the catalyst we have offered to in some way help you graduate with a glorious and positive great harvest. So that's it. That is the 16-page summary of Hidden Hand. Honestly, that one, I feel like it left out some important information, like the whole Bitcoin thing that I was talking about earlier. What else? He goes more into aliens in the full version, and he talks about the Book of Ra, which is something that a group of people, an experiment or communication that a group of people did sometime in like the 70s or 80s, where they believed that they were talking to an advanced civilization of aliens, and the civilization of aliens were giving them a bunch of secrets, and Hidden Hand actually said that their information was like 85 to 90% accurate, and that Ra, the social memory complex, even Ra calls it that, he calls it the same thing, that they, what was I going to say? So maybe Ra is that positive polarity group of people that he was talking about later at like the very end of his of this 16-page summary. Maybe Ra could be that group of people, or maybe it's angels, maybe it's another group of aliens, I don't know. But yeah, now I actually recommend that you go and you read the whole thing. It's like 60 pages. Or watch my video. I don't know when I'm going to put it out, if you're interested. And maybe comment down below. Let me know what you think. Is this all BS? Is it true? Or is it somewhere in the middle? I'm pretty open to stuff like this. Like I said, the thing where he predicted the new currency in January of 2009, which happened to be Bitcoin, really caught my eye and made me think that maybe some of this is real, but I'm not totally sure. So you let me know what you think. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that. I really appreciate it. Really helps me to make more videos, to know that people like them. Really gives me some encouragement if people like them. And also give me some criticism. Tell me what I can improve on. If this video sucked or if my other videos suck, just let me know, because I'm always looking to improve. So I appreciate it. And be on the lookout for my like 4-hour long video of this whole 60 pages, the full version, if you're interested. It's very boring, but it's also very interesting in my opinion. So anyway, see you later.